Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Tarot Time. This reading is for Aries for the month of August. How are my fire signs doing out there? Okay, or if you know an Aries and you want to be a cross watcher, my first day with my tongue. Okay, let's see what we have. So we begin with the 10 of Wands. See, there's my hand, just so you know I exist. And wands are all about, and that's wands with a W, are all about fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And when I look at this card, I immediately think some of my Aries have been carrying far too much on your shoulders. Okay? You're exhausted. But what catches my attention with this card every time I draw, and this is the Barbara Moore deck as opposed to usually I use the Robin Wood deck. I'm just kind of swapping them out to see which ones, and it's just fun. There's really no rhyme nor reason. So what catches my attention is your head is down. So sometimes we are so focused on carrying the burden that we do miss an opportunity to lighten our load, so to speak. So we do miss an opportunity to have somebody possibly help us, But are you stubborn? Are you refusing the help in? So if help is available, okay, or someone is standing watching you struggle, those are two different things, okay? So now we have the King of Cups, and generally I like the King of Cups. He's our water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. He's he's compassionate and emotionally mature, but sometimes the king can be emotionally inconsistent. And I say that because if you notice, his throne there is thrust upon water. And the water and the waves go up and down. And don't forget, they come in, they come out. So do you have somebody in your life who technically is not stable as far as emotions wise? Do they come in, do they come out? Do you find yourself carrying the burden of a relationship, So I have to ask you, and I want you to think it in your head, who isn't helping you put out that fire? But what kind of a relationship is it? Because it doesn't always have to be love. It could be a friendship. It could be somebody at work. It could be family. It could be anything. It doesn't always have to be love. There's more to life than just love. Although that's what makes the world go round. So then we move on to the Two of Pentacles. And this tells me you're juggling everything. Okay? You're juggling responsibilities, emotions, finance. I could go on. And you convinced yourself that just you could keep working a little bit harder and you can keep everything going. And this reminds me of that commercial, and I can't remember, maybe somebody can put it in the comments. It was a woman singing, like she would come home from work and you could tell she was working and she had on, like business attire. And she used to sing about, I could take home the bacon and cook it up in a pan. So she was saying she could do it all. Well, that's great. I think it's great to do it all if you can. But if you have help, why do you want to put such burden? And it's not just financial and it's not just, physical labor. Sometimes we find ourselves putting all into relationships. So that's where we have to take a pause. Then we come to the Seven of Pentacles. And I love this one because I always tell the lore behind it. I love that word. And the lore is they went to bed at night with one pentacle. And during the night, pentacles reproduced. And when they woke up the next morning, they had 7 pentacles. And they said, I'm going to take these pentacles and I'm going right to the bank. And a thunderous voice, yes, that's right, a thunderous voice said, if you wait, you'll have more. Like, have patience. Leave them. So sometimes patience does come in handy. Although speaking from a personal side note, I've always been the queen of reaction. But as years have come by, I've totally changed that. I don't do that anymore. Sometimes it's hard to get a reaction out of me. Sometimes I've gone the opposite way. So I feel like before you make a decision this month in anything, work, job, relationship, whatever's been putting that 10 of wands on you, I want you to evaluate it. Think about different ways you can handle it, because then we get Miss High Priestess. Okay. And I love me some High Priestess because she is a card of Pisces. So I don't know if any of you are involved with Pisces, but she's also someone who keeps everything to herself to an extent. So she's realized that, like I say, if you're going to go ask somebody's advice, it better be somebody that knows what they're talking about, because I wouldn't go to someone who's been divorced multiple times and say, hey, could you give me relationship advice or marriage advice? Because it wouldn't work. So I think because she's also secretive, the sitting down and the evaluating is going to say to you, what are you missing? Or what aren't you seeing? And I think too, you've been carrying this burden for a long time. So maybe a lot of your burden isn't seen by your family, by your friends. You've kept it to yourself. So then we end with the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, tough cookie. I like her. And this is where everything changes, because the Queen of Swords, as opposed to, the Queen of Cups, doesn't make decisions based on guilt. And who's done that? Hold on, let me raise my hand. Maybe I should get back on camera so you can see my body language. So who hasn't made a decision based on guilt, And the Queen of Swords doesn't allow her emotions to cloud her judgment. Now, personally, I believe there's a balance in this world we need. One day, maybe certain decisions need to be emotion-based, some need to be, mind-based, and then some need to be a blend. Okay. But I like the Queen of Swords because she tells the truth even when it's uncomfortable. So, the friend calls you up and says, hey, you want to go out? And you just don't want to go. It has nothing to do with anything but not wanting to go, but you go because you don't want to disappoint your friend. So that's an emotional base. But when you say to her, you know what? I'm not really in the mood to socialize. I know I'm going to be better myself if I stay home and for others. Don't bring me out in public. And that's Queen of Swords based, okay? So what I think is heading into my Aries for August is you're going to have some sort of a realization. You're going to recognize, and this is going to hurt, let me tell you, you're going to recognize that you've been giving far more than you've been receiving. And let me tell you, that isn't going to feel good. But the best thing will be moving forward, you're going to make healthy decisions. So I do believe for my Aries, you're going to have an epiphany, an awakening. And that epiphany awakening is going to make you act differently. And that acting differently is going to bring different changes into your life. And you're going to notice the month of August is going to be a really great month for you as far as moving forward and making decisions. And you're going to be so proud of yourself, and I'll be proud of you too. All right, my Aries, leave your comments below. If you don't subscribe, please do, or follow, like this video. And everybody have a great August.